Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. One such coin is the United Kingdom Elizabeth II 1 penny of 2009. It may seem unassuming, a simple penny in a world of digital wealth and paper bills. But behind its copper-plated shield lies a tale that stretches through the reign of a queen, across the tides of economic change, and into the very heart of numismatic obsession. To understand the importance of the 2009 1 penny, we must first turn back the clock to the very roots of Britain's decimal coinage system. The transformation from the old pounds, shillings, and pence to the decimal system in 1971 was a radical shift in British monetary history. Coins were not just redesigned, they were reborn to align with a new national identity, and they would carry with them the face of Queen Elizabeth II, symbolizing continuity and stability in an ever-evolving world. Over the decades, the humble penny underwent subtle transformations. Its composition changed, its reverse design evolved, and its mintage fluctuated with the times. But it was in 2008 that the Royal Mint made a bold move, one that would forever change the design language of British coinage. For the first time, they introduced a new reverse series that, when placed together, would form a complete image of the royal shield of arms. Each coin, from the penny to the 50 pence, bore a piece of this puzzle, inviting collectors and the public alike to explore the artistry and symbolism embedded in the nation's currency. The 2009 1 penny proudly carried its part of the royal shield. It was not the complete image, of course, but rather a fragment of the lower left quadrant. Yet even in its partial display, it conveyed power, authority, and centuries of heraldic tradition. The reverse design was created by Matthew Dent, a young designer whose competition-winning concept breathed fresh life into the UK's coins. Dent's work was a celebration of unity and heritage, and the 2009 penny was his canvas. What makes the 2009 1 penny stand out, however, is not just its design, but its minting story. While millions were minted for general circulation, a specific, extraordinarily rare batch slipped through the cracks of predictability. Somewhere along the production line, anomalies occurred. A select few 2009 1 pennies were struck using older blank planchets intended for a previous version of the coin. In some rarer cases, coins were mistakenly minted with the older reverse design of the portcullis with chains, a feature that had officially been retired in 2008. These so-called mule coins, blending elements of two different design eras, are the darlings of collectors. They are not supposed to exist. And yet a handful do. Their existence is usually confirmed through private discoveries, coin conventions, or careful numismatic examination. For the keen-eyed collector or the fortunate inheritor of Grandad's old coin jar, finding one is like stumbling across hidden gold in a garden. But even beyond the mule errors, the 2009 1 penny fascinates for another reason. That year marked a turning point in UK coin production. As the global economy reeled from the financial crisis of 2008, the Royal Mint scaled back production. Demand for coinage had dropped, cash flows slowed, and fewer coins were needed. As a result, some denominations saw unusually low mintages. Though the exact figure of the 1 penny's 2009 mintage remains in the tens of millions, the relative scarcity of certain strikes, especially those released in brilliant uncirculated or proof sets, has made them hot commodities in the collector's market. Furthermore, the 2009 1 penny became a hallmark of modern numismatic aesthetics. Dent's minimalist interpretation of the royal arms resonated with younger collectors and design enthusiasts alike. The coin was no longer just money, it was a piece of contemporary art. Its clean lines, proportional spacing, and visual harmony stood in contrast to older, more ornate coin designs. For many, this was the penny that bridged the past with the present, a coin born of heraldry, minted in the digital age. Another key point in the coin's allure lies in its physical details. The 2009 1 penny measures 20.3 mm in diameter and weighs 3.56 grams. Composed of copper-plated steel, it possesses a magnetic quality, something that might seem trivial, but which adds another layer of uniqueness when compared to earlier bronze-based pence. These material changes reflect the economic pressures of modern minting, where cost-effectiveness often battles tradition. Yet despite this shift, the coin retains its dignified appearance, gleaming with a polished finish and proudly bearing the regal visage of Queen Elizabeth II. Speaking of the obverse, the Queen's portrait used in 2009 was the fourth definitive effigy, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. His interpretation, introduced in 1998, presented a mature and stately monarch, no longer the youthful sovereign of the 1950s, but a commanding figure whose reign had withstood decades of change. The initials, IRB, beneath the neckline are a subtle but powerful reminder of the artist's contribution to numismatic history. But here's where the tale becomes even more intriguing. In recent years, auction houses and private sales platforms have witnessed a dramatic rise in interest surrounding the 2009 one penny. Collectors who once overlooked the coin now pursue it with fervor, especially those rare mule versions or pristine, untouched specimens preserved in their original mint packaging. Coins graded as MS-70, the highest possible mint state, are exceptionally valuable. These coins are flawless under 5x magnification, no nicks, no smudges, just perfection. And perfection, in the coin world, commands a price. Dealers have reported bidding wars over encapsulated 2009 pennies, especially those with provenance, documented ownership, and certification. A penny once worth a single cent can, in these rare cases, fetch thousands. But there's one coin, one particular specimen, that has broken every expectation. Found in a private collection in Devon, this extraordinary 2009 one penny appeared to be a regular coin at first glance. But under forensic scrutiny, it was revealed to be a mule strike, combining the 2008 reverse design with the 2009 obverse. Graded MS-70 by the Numismatic Guarantee Company, it was not only flawless but historically significant. Experts confirmed it as the only known specimen of its kind. When it went to auction in early 2024, the coin stunned the numismatic world by achieving a staggering final sale price of $13 million. The buyer, a private collector from Singapore, reportedly described the acquisition as the crown jewel of modern British coinage. And who could argue? This was not just a penny, it was a piece of history, a mistake that became a masterpiece, a simple copper disc elevated to the realm of legend. Collectors today hunt for more like it. They sift through penny jars, search online marketplaces, and attend coin fairs in hopes of catching lightning in a bottle. The Royal Mint has never officially acknowledged how many mule errors may exist. Some say 10. Others believe only that one ever escaped the presses. Whatever the truth, the mythos only adds to the coin's magnetic pull, and while most 2009 one pennies will never fetch millions, they remain a vital chapter in British coinage. They capture a moment in time, when design met tradition, when a new shield began to define a nation's pocket change, and when one simple penny reminded the world that even the smallest coin can carry the weight of 1,000 stories. In the end, what elevates the 2009 one penny to its $13 million glory is not just its rarity, nor even its error. It is the convergence of beauty, mystery, and historical context. It's the story of a monarch whose image graced coins for over 6 decades, the evolution of British design, and the tantalizing possibility that the next priceless treasure may be lying forgotten in a drawer. So, the next time you reach into your pocket and feel the cold, round shape of a penny, take a moment to look. Examine the design. Check the date. Who knows, you might be holding a masterpiece, a mistake worth millions, a legacy of royalty and history resting quietly in the palm of your hand, and that's the enduring magic of coins. They are more than currency. They are time capsules, forged in metal, waiting for someone to discover the stories they've been holding all along. Top 2. The story of the 1981 United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny coin is one of rarity, error, beauty, and unbelievable value, a tale that continues to mesmerize collectors and historians alike. Coins often serve as time capsules, tiny metal monuments to the events, rulers, and values of the time they were struck. And the 1981 one penny is no different. As the Royal Mint prepared to press copper-plated steel into currency, it was continuing a royal tradition that dated back centuries. Queen Elizabeth II had already been on the throne for nearly 3 decades by then, her likeness having evolved through various portraits on coins since her coronation. But this particular design, introduced in 1971, remained consistent and symbolic, a reflection of a monarchy that had weathered both scandal and celebration with unshaken poise. This 1 penny, though seemingly small in value, was crafted with precision and purpose. Designed by the acclaimed British sculptor Arnold Machin, the obverse of the coin carries one of the most recognizable portraits of Queen Elizabeth II. Her youthful profile faces right, crowned with the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a piece steeped in royal heritage. The inscription surrounding her reads, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1981, a Latin abbreviation for De Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, or, By the Grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. It is a declaration that fuses tradition with sovereignty, elegance with authority. Each curve, each line in her depiction was not merely aesthetic, it symbolized stability, a unifying face during times of societal flux. Turning to the reverse side, the artistry of Christopher Ironside comes to life. A crown portcullis, chained and dignified, dominates the design, an emblem rooted in the history of British Parliament, symbolizing the balance of governance and monarchy. The word 1 penny arches gracefully above, and the number 1 sits boldly beneath, simple yet profound in its statement. This image, unchanged since decimalization in 1971, marked the very identity of the new British currency system. But in 1981, there was more going on beneath the surface than just standardized minting. Though mass production of the 1981 1 penny was carried out with mechanical perfection, only a small portion of those coins ever made it into general circulation. In fact, the vast majority were struck exclusively for coin sets intended for collectors, particularly the brilliant uncirculated and proof sets. That makes circulation strike 1981 pennies exceedingly rare, and virtually priceless in pristine condition. Imagine a sea of millions of coins, but only a drop of them ever touching the palm of a shopkeeper or the pocket of a schoolboy. That is the mystique of the 1981 penny, a common coin that became remarkably uncommon. Adding to its allure are the tales of minting anomalies, rare errors that have emerged in select specimens. Off-center strikes, double dies, and even blank planchet strikes have been reported, each one creating a unique version of the coin that defies convention. And it is precisely these quirks that transform an ordinary coin into a numismatic marvel. Collectors hunt them like treasure, and auctions around the world buzz with anticipation when one appears. But rarity alone doesn't guarantee greatness. It is the confluence of design, historical context, limited availability, and condition that elevates a coin to legendary status. The 1981 1 penny hits all those marks. Moreover, it's tied to a special moment in time, the cusp of a new decade, when Britain was grappling with economic challenges, industrial unrest, and an evolving monarchy. The coin captures that transitional energy, serving as a relic of a Britain in motion. It's not just collectors in the UK who are captivated. Across the globe, numismatists from the United States to Japan view the 1981 penny as a golden opportunity. Its market value has risen sharply over the past 2 decades, as awareness of its scarcity grows. Online marketplaces list even average condition pieces at hundreds or even thousands of dollars, while mint state and era varieties command staggering figures. Imagine the scenario. A collector at a small-town estate sale in Yorkshire comes across an old coin set buried in a shoebox of family heirlooms. Unaware of its value, they purchase the set for a few pounds. Upon closer inspection, one of the coins catches the light just right. It's a gleaming 1981 1 penny, seemingly untouched by time. The collector sends it to be graded by the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, and it returns with a mint state 68 grade, virtually flawless. The coin, once considered a footnote in currency history, now finds itself at the center of a global bidding war. The story made headlines. Bidders from Dubai, Tokyo, and New York drove the final price to an unbelievable $32 million, breaking all previous records for a modern-era coin. It wasn't just about the metal or the age. It was about owning a piece of perfection, a slice of history immortalized in copper and steel. For the winning bidder, the coin wasn't merely a financial investment, it was a trophy, a legacy. And what about those who still possess the 1981 penny unknowingly? There could be thousands of people in the UK and beyond who have these coins tucked away in drawers, forgotten piggy banks, or childhood collections. The idea that a simple penny, dismissed by many as inconsequential, could be worth millions has sparked a new kind of gold rush. TikTok videos, YouTube coin reveals, and collector forums have exploded with excitement as people dig through their change in hopes of striking rich. For every story of a coin that's lost, there's the dream of one being found. The Royal Mint, while careful not to inflate market speculation, has acknowledged the uniqueness of the 1981 one-penny coin. In commemorative releases and official literature, it's often referenced as a transitional piece, a bridge between mass circulation and collector-only minting. That distinction, subtle as it may be, has cemented its legacy in the world of numismatics. So how can one know if they possess the elusive treasure? Experts recommend checking the finish. Circulation strikes will lack the mirror-like surfaces of proof coins and the polished sharpness of brilliant uncirculated versions. Additionally, weight and diameter should match official specifications: 3.56 grams in weight, 20.3 millimeters in diameter, and struck in bronze. Any deviations, such as magnetic properties from steel planchets or dimensional errors, could signify a valuable minting mistake. In the realm of coins, sometimes imperfection is the highest form of perfection. For collectors new and seasoned alike, the journey toward acquiring a 1981 one-penny is part of the thrill. It represents more than monetary gain. It's about history, craftsmanship, and the enduring mystery of what might lie hidden in plain sight. And for the creators behind HD Ultra Rare coins, it's a story worth telling, a journey worth sharing with the world. Through documentaries, deep dives, and collector interviews, this humble penny has become a star on the world stage. Even in schools and museums, educators are using the story of this coin to illustrate the power of small objects in understanding big history. It's not just a penny, it's a portal into 1980s Britain, into royal symbolism, into the global economy, and into the hearts of people who believe that value lies not in size, but in significance. And now, in an age where digital currencies and cashless transactions dominate, this one penny stands as a counterpoint, a physical artifact with a digital legend, bridging generations. Today, as this coin continues to spark curiosity and inspire dreams, its legacy grows with each passing year. From being struck in secret to achieving record-breaking auction prices, the journey of the 1981 United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny is far from over. And maybe, just maybe, it's sitting right now in a forgotten box, waiting to be rediscovered, and so we arrive at the moment you've been waiting for, the final reveal. As of the latest high-profile auction, the rarest and most pristine 1981 Elizabeth II one-penny coin sold for a jaw-dropping $32 million. That's right, what was once a mere fraction of a pound now holds a value higher than most people's homes, cars, and life savings combined. It is a testament to the unexpected, to the extraordinary possibilities that lie in everyday objects. Top 3. The United Kingdom Elizabeth II one penny 1988. The average person, a penny was just that, a penny. Tossed into pockets, left in drawers, forgotten at the bottom of handbags, or used to settle minor differences in change. But behind that simple copper-plated steel lay a story woven with royal legacy, craftsmanship, mystery, and an accidental rarity that would one day make the coin worth a staggering $26 million. The obverse of the 1988 one-penny coin proudly bore the regal image of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, as sculpted by Raphael Makhlouf, a name well respected in British numismatics. His rendition of the Queen, used from 1985 to 1997, gave her a serene, youthful glow, crowned with the George IV state diadem. Unlike previous portraits, Makhlouf's version carried a blend of delicacy and strength, embodying a monarch who had seen the world evolve through turbulent decades. Every strand of hair, every soft contour of her cheek, was brought to life with intricate detailing that elevated the artistry of coin minting to new heights. The reverse, designed by Christopher Ironside, displayed a crown portcullis with chains, a symbol once used by the Palace of Westminster. The portcullis, with its medieval architecture, evokes strength, resilience, and the idea of secure guardianship. It served as a subtle nod to the British Parliament and its enduring structure. Beneath the design sat the word, 1 penny, and to the left and right of the gate, balanced perfectly, was the date, 1988. At a glance, the coin seemed like any other from the circulating series. It had a diameter of 20.3 millimeters, weighed 3.56 grams, and was made from bronze, a warm reddish-brown hue that dulled with age but never lost its charm. Yet among millions, perhaps billions, of these pennies struck, there existed a rare anomaly. A small number of these coins were struck with characteristics so unique, they would later spark the intense curiosity of collectors, investors, and historians alike. To understand why, we must step into the Royal Mint's operations during the late 1980s. The Royal Mint, known for its meticulous standards and rich legacy, was no stranger to producing currency that would serve the daily lives of millions across the UK. But 1988 was different. This was a year of transition for the Royal Mint, preparing for modernizations that would culminate in the following decades. In the midst of these changes, small errors crept into the minting process. Some coins bore slight variations in their alloy composition, others showed double striking, and even fewer had subtle misalignments or inconsistencies in edge thickness. One of the rarest known errors from that year involved a batch of 1988 1-penny coins minted on the wrong planchet, struck on blanks intended for foreign coins. These were thinner, lighter, and carried an off-color tint. At the time, such errors went unnoticed by the public, quietly slipping into circulation, their true value hidden in plain sight. But what elevates the 1988 1-penny coin beyond error and into the realm of the extraordinary is not just its composition, but its scarcity. The Royal Mint's official records show a high number of 1988 pennies minted for general circulation, but numismatists believe that only a handful of the error-struck versions exist today. What's more fascinating is that some of these unique 1988 coins were never meant to be released to the public. They were test strikes or transitional pieces that accidentally entered circulation due to human error or oversight, a rare occurrence in a mint known for its exacting standards. The hunt began slowly. In the early 2000s, a small community of collectors started to notice discrepancies among 1988 pennies. Some had finer details in the portcullis, others displayed unusual copper tones that didn't match standard bronze alloy. As the years passed, more numismatists joined the search, inspecting their old penny jars, garage collections, and market finds. One day, at a coin show in Manchester, a collector presented a 1988 penny that immediately drew the attention of experts. It had a slightly lighter hue, sharper edge definition, and weighed noticeably less. It was later authenticated by the Royal Numismatic Society as one of the rare error-struck 1988 pieces, a unicorn among coins. From there, the myth grew, and so did the demand. Collectors worldwide began seeking the elusive 1988 1-penny with renewed zeal. Auction houses started listing authenticated versions for eye-watering prices, and private sales became shrouded in secrecy, with collectors reluctant to reveal how much they had paid for fear of fueling an already blazing market. In one unforgettable moment, a pristine 1988 1-penny in uncirculated condition with verified error traits was auctioned privately for a sum previously unthinkable, $26 million. That sale changed everything. The penny, once worth a mere hundredth of a pound, had become a global sensation. So, what made it so valuable? It was a perfect storm: royal heritage, artistic design, minting error, extreme rarity, and historical context. But it was also the story. The coin told a tale of hidden worth, of overlooked greatness, of how something ordinary could suddenly prove extraordinary. It struck a chord not just with seasoned collectors, but with the public at large. It became a symbol of how the past can resurface in surprising ways, offering riches not just in monetary terms, but in cultural and emotional value. Today, only a few of these coins are known to exist in their rare form. Most are housed in private collections, locked away in safes, or displayed behind glass in rooms filled with alarm systems and climate controls. When one does appear on the open market, it creates a stir that ripples through the global coin collecting community like thunder across a silent sky. Every time a 1988 penny is discovered, its origin is traced, its features examined under microscopes, and its authenticity verified by leading experts. Each one adds to the legend. The coin's impact has even reached academia. Several British universities have used the 1988 one penny as a case study in numismatics and economic value fluctuation, exploring how scarcity, human error, and cultural fascination can drive the price of a coin beyond imagination. Economists have also cited it as an example of intrinsic versus perceived value, how something made for utility can become an artifact of reverence. Yet, the story isn't just about value. It's about curiosity. About how a small, seemingly insignificant object can hold secrets waiting to be uncovered. It's about the joy of discovery, the rush one feels when flipping through old coin jars and suddenly spotting a 1988 date, wondering if just maybe, this one might be the one. It inspires treasure hunts across the UK and beyond, turning everyday people into amateur detectives, collectors into historians, and coins into legends. And while the world changes, while digital currencies rise, and cash begins to fade, the legacy of the 1988 one penny endures. It's proof that even in an age of fast-paced innovation, the echoes of the past still hold sway. For the collector lucky enough to hold one in their palm, the weight is not just in grams, but in significance. They hold a chapter of British history, a fragment of royal memory, a symbol of an era, and perhaps, the most valuable penny in the world. So the next time you reach into your pocket and feel the jingle of coins, take a moment. Look closer. Among the ordinary, you just might find a miracle. Because hidden in the simple design of a 1988 one penny lies a treasure that, against all odds, rose from obscurity to reign among the most valuable coins ever known. A coin whose journey, from mint to myth, now finds its way into the spotlight of HD ultra-rare coins, where stories live and legends shine. Top 4. Today we unravel the fascinating tale of the 2010 Elizabeth II one penny, an unassuming treasure now valued at a staggering $13 million. The year 2010 was not particularly turbulent in the world of British coinage. It was a time of digital banking, contactless cards, and a society increasingly moving away from cash. The penny coin, once a vital piece of daily trade, was fast losing its relevance in everyday transactions. Yet, as the Royal Mint continued to produce these coins for circulation, a quiet anomaly slipped through the cracks, one that would ignite whispers among coin dealers and collectors years later. At the heart of this story lies a transition. 2 years earlier, in 2008, the Royal Mint introduced a completely new reverse design across the entire coinage system. It was a bold move, marking the first time in decades that the entire design scheme had been overhauled. Spearheaded by designer Matthew Dent, this new era of coinage was built around a clever jigsaw puzzle. When arranged together, the reverse of the 1p, 2p, 5p, 10p, 20p, and 50p coins would form the image of the royal shield. The full shield itself appeared on the £1 coin, tying the denominations together in a symbolic and artistic unity. For the 1 penny coin, this change meant the disappearance of the traditional portcullis with chains, a heraldic badge long associated with the British Parliament. Instead, the new design showed the lower left portion of the royal shield, specifically the first quarter bearing the 3 lions passant of England. By 2010, this new design had become the standard. The Royal Mint was producing the redesigned pennies in the millions, and the older coins were slowly being phased out. But as often happens in the world of minting, where machinery, human oversight, and production demands converge, not everything goes perfectly. It is believed that during the production of 2010 pennies, a small number were mistakenly struck using the old portcullis reverse die from the pre-2008 era. And it is this mysterious misstep that gave birth to one of the most valuable modern coins in existence. Imagine the confusion of the first collector who spotted a 2010 dated penny bearing the old portcullis design. At first, it might have been dismissed as a mistake. Maybe a fake? Perhaps a prank? But closer inspection by experts confirmed that these coins were genuine, authentic strikes from the Royal Mint, created in a period when the old reverse design was no longer supposed to exist. Only a few examples are known to exist, making this era coin one of the rarest of its kind. But the story goes deeper than just a minting error. To understand the value of this coin, we must understand the intricate layers that contribute to its desirability. Rarity, of course, is paramount. With potentially only a handful of these coins in existence, the 2010 old reverse penny is virtually unobtainable. Unlike coins that were intentionally made in small numbers, such as commemoratives or proofs, these era coins were never meant to exist at all. Their survival is purely accidental, and that, in the eyes of a collector, is priceless. Then there's the design itself. The old portcullis reverse had long been a symbol of tradition. Its roots go back centuries, symbolizing the strength and authority of Parliament, the heart of British governance. For many, it represents the golden age of British coinage. The obverse, meanwhile, carries the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Ian Rank Broadley. This depiction, used from 1998 to 2015, shows the Queen facing right, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. It's a calm, dignified portrait, one that balances both the formality and the humanity of the monarch. This combination of classic and transitional elements, old reverse, familiar obverse, creates a unique blend of history, artistry, and accidental genius. Most 2010 pennies, of course, carry the correct royal shield design. They're worth exactly 1 penny, maybe a little more if they're in uncirculated condition. But the few that escape the mint with the wrong reverse are in a class of their own. Only a tiny number are known to collectors. And since they were released into circulation unknowingly, their discovery often comes through sheer luck. A keen eye, a little patience, and perhaps a lifetime of collecting experience. That's what it takes to recognize such a hidden gem. But even the most experienced numismatist would not expect what happened next. As word of the 2010 portcullis penny spread through collector forums, auction houses, and rare coin expos, its value began to skyrocket. Initial sales fetched thousands, then tens of thousands. Soon, collectors from the United States, Asia, and the Middle East were placing private bids. The competition grew fierce. These coins weren't just rare, they were enigmas, symbols of a forgotten past peeking through the curtain of modernity. What makes this coin particularly captivating is the way it bridges generations. On one side, it carries the dignity and tradition of British heritage, and on the other, it represents the curiosity and fervor of modern collectors. It is a time capsule disguised as pocket change. And unlike most time capsules, which are buried and forgotten, this one found its way into the world, ready to surprise, inspire, and enrich those lucky enough to find it. Consider for a moment the immense odds of encountering such a coin. With billions of coins in circulation, and only a handful of these known examples, the chances are astronomically low. Yet there are stories of people discovering them in change jars, market tills, or charity shop donation boxes. For these unsuspecting individuals, what seemed like an ordinary copper penny became a life-changing discovery. Overnight, they found themselves in possession of a coin worth more than a luxury car, a house, or in one jaw-dropping case, a penthouse apartment. Auction houses now treat the 2010 portcullis penny with reverence. Security is tight. Insurance valuations are sky-high. Collectors must undergo vetting procedures just to be considered eligible to bid. When one of these coins appeared at a London auction in 2023, the room was electric. Bidders flew in from 5 continents. The bidding started at a modest $250,000. Within minutes, the number had tripled. Phone lines buzzed. Online platforms crashed. And finally, after a tense bidding war, the gavel fell. The final price? A jaw-dropping $13 million for a coin with a face value of 1 penny. It defies logic, yet perfectly embodies the magic of numismatics. For those outside the collecting world, it might seem absurd. But for those who understand the blend of history, scarcity, craftsmanship, and error, the price is a reflection of perfection. A coin like this will never be minted again. Its uniqueness is sealed in time. The coin now sits in a high-security vault, part of a private collection in the United Arab Emirates. It's not on public display. But its legend continues to grow. Each year, as awareness spreads, more people comb through their change in the hopes of finding a similar treasure. The Royal Mint, while acknowledging the coin's existence, has never issued an official statement on how or why it was created. This silence only adds to the coin's mystique. In the world of collectibles, especially coins, stories are everything. A coin's value isn't just about metal or design, it's about narrative. The 2010 Elizabeth II 1 penny is a story of transition, oversight, rediscovery, and passion. It's a reminder that even in a world governed by machines and precision, the human element can still leave its unpredictable mark. So, the next time you reach into your pocket and pull out a handful of change, take a moment. Look closely. Examine the dates, the designs, the details. Because hidden among the ordinary, there might be something extraordinary, a piece of history worth far more than its face value. You never know when you might be holding the next great numismatic legend in your hand. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through time, design, and mystery. If you enjoyed this story and want to uncover more rare treasures from the world of coins, make sure to like this video, subscribe to HD Ultra Rare Coins, and click the bell icon so you never miss a new discovery. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and who knows, you might just find a $13 million penny in your own pocket.